What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima, Mary J Music. So guys, many of us knew or felt in our heart that R. Kelly was not going to be a free man. After that Lifetime documentary came out about him, you know, it was almost like he was guilty before being innocent. And I kind of want to get back to like the late 90s when I was in high school. Even before that, R. Kelly was popular when I was in middle school. So I'm 41. So, you know, Bump and Grind and You Remind Me of My Jeep and all that stuff, they came out in the mid 90s. People heard about allegations about R. Kelly then, before the internet was so popping. So when we talk about R. Kelly's allegations, they precede many of you who are listening today, right? And anybody who came from my generation, we all heard about the alleged, tape where he allegedly urinated on somebody. He beat that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So R. Kelly has had this history or allegations going on before YouTube or before Twitter or before, it's been going on for years. With that being said, R. Kelly, he also suffered from certain abuses and things like that, but it looked like at a time he was untouchable. It seems like somebody would say something about him and it would go away. It was like water off of a duck's back. I think the issue with R. Kelly is that in what he was doing or what they could prove that he was doing, he probably had no fear of what he was doing would come back. All right. And R. Kelly came from an era in the 90s outside of like people like Mike Tyson going to jail where things like that went away. But we no longer live in that world right now. And for R. Kelly, for whatever he did that was illegal, I can't defend him. Here's the other part that I'm concerned with though. R. Kelly had help. Now I'm not going to sit back and talk about ladies who were underage. I can't defend that. Or other women that allegedly say he did that, I can't defend it. But what I want to ask is, what about the people who knew about R. Kelly's allegedly behavior and still sent their daughters to him to live with him? That still knew all that he had going on and still messed with him anyway. R. Kelly had help. R. Kelly had willing participants in this. Be it people who recruited young ladies, I'm talking about over the age now, and I'm talking about illegal, I'm talking about the ones that are talking about him that were dealing with him when he was legal. Y'all knew what y'all was getting into. But these ladies are able to speak on a situation that y'all knew what y'all was getting into when y'all was, some of y'all, of age. And your parents, like the chick Azriel Clary, whatever her name is, come on now, it's obvious that you knew. But some of y'all did it for R. Kelly to get fame and it didn't happen, now y'all mad. Let me kind of put this back to a position where you guys can see it, especially those of you who have intentions on being successful financially. You plan on being famous. I want you to look at this. Look at what's happened to R. Kelly. Now I know what you're going to say. I'm not a sexual deviant like him. There's no way I'm going to do what he does. I can understand it. What I'm asking you is to simply look at the willing participants. I'm not discussing anybody that was illegal or underage here. I'm asking you only to look at the willing participants. That also, once they found out he didn't have money anymore, that the ship was going down anymore, they got off the ship. And that added to the public's perception about R. Kelly also. I've heard stories that women were just like lined up outside of his like tour bus. And he'd be knocking them down. Like they would stand in line after he'd get done with one of them, the other one will come up. Like these are willing participants who will then come back and say, oh no, I feel like I'm a victim. I don't think all of those ladies are, victims as they say. Some of them are, but are all of them victims? I don't know. But what I want you to say is this. I want guys to understand. In America, you got to run a tight ship. There are no more the days of big time womanizing anymore. Those days are over. It's over. Stick a fork in it It's done. You want to be rich in America? Want to keep what you got to go? Right now is going to be the worst time in America to be a rich man. Because people are going to sue you for your money. Guys that understand that. Women are going to sue you for your money. This is the time where your lowest profiles are ever going to come in history. Because all somebody has to say is they can be a willing participant, and then they can then change and not be a participant anymore. And then after that, you're done. Now, for sure, R. Kelly had things that he was doing that the court proved. I don't have problems with that. But what I'm saying is every person that wanted to deal with R. Kelly wasn't, in my opinion, forced. There were some ladies that wanted to deal with him, expected something from him, and didn't get it, and then became upset. And I think that if you want to be successful, hey man, being rich here in this generation is easier than before, than the 80s and the 70s. But to be rich now, you're going to have less authority. You're not going to be able to run through chicks like it was before. Not get sued. It's not going to happen. People going to take you to court. There's Me Too's. People can change their mind now. And a lot of black men need to learn something from the R. Kelly stuff. Like, wait a minute. Of course you don't want to, do anything stupid and get 30 years like he did. But at the same time, it's not the 90s anymore. It's not 2000s where shit just goes away. Okay? People can't protect you for only so long. You're going to have a big time problems. Big time. Okay? Big time issues. And that's what's going to happen. And I want guys to understand that the more successful you are, the more problems you're going to have. Look at what's going on with Bill Cosby. Look what's going on with Deshaun Watson. I think you need to, be real more specific. So if you start getting a lot of money, maybe you don't want to buy that chick magnet because you don't know what problems you're inviting into your life. All the chicks is making it easy for you to deal with them now. You probably want to look at that and look the other way. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first link at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at all-time high. I'm out.